Okay, let's talk about it. So I went to see Madam Web. This was the first Marvel movie I ever watched. I was looking forward to it. If you haven't seen my latest video, I'm talking about Deadpool Wolverine. Trying to understand the Marvel universe. Since I'm doing a movie channel, why not? Why exclude them? Let me get into Marvel. I've avoided them for these 33 years of life, and I was excited to get into it. Okay, sure, I think I've seen Black Panther, but I don't even remember. And I've also seen the 2 Spider-Verse movies, the animated ones, but they're animated, so I'm not counting those. I'm talking about the real life adaptations. And this is my introduction. Madam Web was my introduction. So Madam Web tells the story of Cassandra Webb, played by Dakota Johnson, who is a New York City paramedic who starts getting these visions after a near-death experience. She's forced to confront revelations about her past, but she also must protect 3 young women along the way from a mysterious adversary who wants them dead. I'm a homosexual, I'm a gay man, and I was looking forward to this. A female leading cast. I was rooting for you, and we were all rooting for you. And I like the costumes. I think that's like the only good thing that I can say about this. You guys, this movie is, ooh, girl. It is so bad. And it's not one of those where it's so bad, it's good. It's so bad that it's just bad. First of all, the script, who wrote this and who greenlit this? Who was like, oh, this script is everything, girl, let's make the movie. Some of these lines are just like, what? Like, what did you just say? I remember one where literally Dakota Johnson's character says, do not do anything dumb. Quick second pause. Don't do dumb things. The CGI has to be some of the worst I've ever seen. It almost looks like they intentionally wanted to show that they didn't do a good job. It is so bad. It's a mess on screen. You're just like, what? Give me an illusion. Give me something. No, you're giving me fakeness and you're proud of it. And then when it comes to the action, I was expecting action-packed, like fight scenes. I thought, this is a Marvel movie, right? I'm gonna get that. The only action I could think of was car chases, them running from this guy who's called Ceiling Guy the entire time. Ceiling Guy. And the action from him is jumping from building to cars and jumping again. And I guess there's one fight scene at the end, and you're just like, this has to be this. I laughed because when you finally see Cassandra Webb control her powers of having these visions and also being in multiple places at one time, it all stops with a simple punch to the stomach. So you mean to tell me that these powers can be stopped at any moment as long as somebody just interrupts, like, hey, boop. It's like, and that's it. The sound in this movie, oof. It felt like the audio guy was like, I don't care. It peaked and it just hurt your ear. How loud some of these bangs and impact moments, just it's so off-putting. You're just like, what the hell just happened? Like, oof. I mean, this is just a big Pepsi commercial. If you really think about it, wherever they had a chance to show Pepsi was shown. Beyonce is in this. No, not her physically, but they made sure to capture what year we are in because they wanted to show her album cover on a big giant mural on a wall. I'm not lying to you. This actually happened. Now let's go to the acting. Oof. Okay, for me, Dakota Johnson, it seems like she didn't want to be in this movie. This character, Cassandra Webb, is an asshole. Like, she is rude. She does not want to protect these girls. She just doesn't want any responsibility. She doesn't want to do anything. She just wants to be by herself in her apartment. And this is coming from somebody who's a paramedic. You're basically telling us, oh, I only care when it comes to money. If somebody needs my help, it's like, oh, that's not my responsibility. You on your own, girl. She gives a performance that is so monotone, and at times you can tell she is about to break character. She is fighting for her life to not laugh. And she delivers some of the corniest, most lines I've ever heard. I can see perfectly now. I can see you saving people. I can see you standing for what's right. I laughed at some parts. I'll give it that. At least I wasn't bored. At least I laughed. At least I had a good time laughing at the movie. The 3 girls that she has to save, I wasn't invested at all. I did not care about these 3 girls. We just get a backstory from them. Like, I'm this, oh, I'm this, and that's it. we don't get to see any of it. We don't get to care for these characters. They literally could just be another person that Cassandra Webb saves, and then we could keep it moving. We could keep on moving. We do not need to know anything else because the movie doesn't give us anything else. They're just other characters, other people, other humans that Cassandra Webb has to save. Sure, they tell us that in the future they're gonna beat up this guy, but if it wasn't for that, it literally is nothing else. And talking about this guy, the villain, the antagonist of this film, girl, he's not a good villain. Like, you do not even root for the guy. Sometimes there's these movies where you're just like, oh, I love the villain, but this villain is so boring. He doesn't give us nothing the entire time. Just like I said, Dakota Johnson is so monotone in her performance. This guy is the same. The voice doesn't change at all throughout the entire film. Even when he's jumping, even when he's on the side of the wall, you hear no agitation. You hear nothing. You just hear him in the studio recording his voice. And speaking of that, there are times in this film where you hear him speaking, but his mouth is shut. It does not match, and you're just like, wait, am I seeing things? You know what? This movie is so bad, I probably will tell people about it, and maybe that'll make people go. So maybe that's something that's positive. People might actually want to go because it's like, I need to see how bad this is. It's just wild. It's bonkers. It's like a child wrote this movie, but they took the fun out of it. Like a child wrote it, you know? Like, okay, let's take this fun part. Let's take this fun part and we'll just leave everything else. I wish I had Madam Web's power, see into the future, and I would have seen how bad this was and I would have just stayed my ass home. But you let me know. Have you seen it? Should I leave all hope behind for Marvel? Because this intro to it just really did not give me nothing to look forward to. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time.